Hi guys, it's Belle here, and it is day 9 of Junk Journal January 2025, hosted by the lovely Meg Journals. I will leave the link to her channel down below. And today's one could be a bit long and a little bit complicated, but I hope you'll join me on the journey. And the prompt for today is hidden. So I have a couple of ways I want to do that prompt. So let's get the journal open, and we have the lovely Heinrich there, and we're going to be working on this page here. The first thing I have is this junk journal envelope. You can see it's ripped and torn. I might actually keep that tear. And the first thing I want to do is take the acetate window off this and hope that we can get it back on. If not, I have extra acetate that we can do that with. But realistically, I'd like to use this again just for simplicity's sake. So we have our acetate window. And what I am going to do now is I'm going to run this through my embossing folder machine. I have this little rose. It's just a generic one that I don't even know where I picked it up. I don't know if it was from a shop or whether it came in a magazine, but I really like this little rose one. So I'm going to run this whole envelope through the embossing folder, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have embossed that. You can see the flowers, and obviously it's going to open, and I do think I like the tear. I do think I like that, but what I have noticed is I've used vellum here, and you can see that it's really coming away from the tag. So the first thing I want to do is I can pull it off actually. Look at that, pulled it off. Yeah, the first thing I want to do is I want to bring in some other paper just so that we can strengthen that whilst we are at it. Yeah, let's just glue all of these sides down, because the acetate was coming off. Now, the vellum rather. Now, realistically, I could have just stuck something on the other side, but I didn't know if that was actually going to still work. So I thought, before we put the envelope down, look at me trying to think ahead. That's probably not going to continue. I will put this down. Make sure that's all lined up. Let's bend it. Let's make sure it does bend. Lovely, as they say. So we're going to have that. And yes, now I think I want to try and glue this acetate back on here. I'm not sure how that'll work. Oh, do you know what we could do though? This gives us the perfect opportunity to bring in some inking, some walnut stain. I feel like I'm getting a bit grungier as some of the days are going on, but we are going to bring in some bright colour with this one. So actually, oh, good job I did this, because it made me stop and think. There is something else I want to do first, and I want to sketch roughly the inside of here onto the back cover. You'll see why in a minute. So that is now sketched on there. Perfect. And let us move the journal and try and glue this back in here, because I do want it, because I want that window effect. And then we are going to collage quite a bit today. And why not, hey? Some days you just want to collage. Well, maybe you don't. I do. I love collaging. Find it very therapeutic, and I love using up scraps. So that is also a good way to do that. And I will stitch around this, but I'm not going to stitch around it until everything's on here, because there's no point. I'm going to hold that down because it's curling. It wants to curl, so we are going to say no. How dare you? Stay down. And I do think I really like this torn edge on this one. So I think I'm going to pull this off. Oops. And then we need to really measure this so that it's going to fit on our page at 3.5. Oh, that brings off. No, it doesn't. We're going to lose some of that torn edge, which I kind of liked. All right, well, we're going to do it this way then. Let's bring in our bigger Guillotine paper trimmer, whatever it's going to be called. And try and cut this at 3.5 without cutting the top one. I don't know how successful that'll be, but we're going to give it a go. Right, so if I can get it to stop at just about there. Aha! Did it! Then, yeah, we should still have some of the ripped edge, and we'll see if we want to rip it more and stuff. I can see some of the glue coming through there, which is bothering me a little bit, so I might have to put something there. And I wasn't intending to. I was going to run like some ink over this because that then helps bring out the embossing. So I was going to run some ink, and we're going for neutral inks because there are going to be bright colours on parts of this. If I have to bring in some washi or something, I will. We will fix that. So that's going to be like that. And now what I need to do is I need to bring in my craft knife and a ruler. And we obviously have this, but I actually want it to be a little bit wider. So just a little bit wider. We're kind of going here and here. I'm not measuring. Measuring? Why would we measure? Because it would make life a lot easier, Belle. But I don't like measuring, so if I can get away with it without doing it, I will. I'm going to go to there. And then we're going to cut along here. So I want to do hidden in 2 different ways. I love using, if you've been with me a while, you'll know that in my journals, I love using hidden pockets and hidden writing spaces. I just think it's a lot of fun. My sister summed it up really well once. She said that my journals sometimes remind her of like old houses where they've got hidden rooms or passages or that kind of thing, because I just love doing that. I love making it so that you're not sure what's where. Okay, realistically, I should have maybe collaged that beforehand. Yeah, we will work and move. So I have quite a bit of collage bits, and we are going to do that now. Although we are going to bring in this lovely lady and some wings. And I want to do that now because I want them to stick whilst we're then collaging. I want that to glue down. Probably need a bit more than that realistically. So yes, we're going to bring her and her wings in. And I think to have them positioned, I was worried they'd pop out the bottom, but they're not going to. I was going to use some alcohol inks on her wings, but I did decide against that. I may change my mind on that. That's really showing through that envelope. Isn't that funny? Normally it doesn't. I mean, we could turn it round. No, it won't open right then if I turn it round. I'm moving her wings because she's going to go at the bottom and we would still see it anyway. No, it doesn't matter. So we are going to bring in some collaging now. And I also want to bring in this word. So I want the simply on this side. So I'm going to, I was going to glue around that. That's going to make it pop out again, isn't it? I'm going to stitch. So if I use, that's not going to stick, I don't think. Maybe if I just use my glue stick on some of the edges, just a little bit. That might work. We shall see. These are one of the Tim Holtz flashcards. And I really do need to make sure that I put this the right way. So I'm just going to lay it down because then I can move it from this side once I can see it. And we are going to see both of these. So I like that it says simply believe, because sometimes when we're creating, and especially on those days, a bit like right now, where things could go a little bit wrong, I like the idea that it's just saying simply believe, just simply believe in yourself. But also it gives me feelings of simply believe in fairies, because she's going to have wings. And we're going to bring in actually some scrap paper to collage with, and I really do just want some scrap paper. So this is one that I made from another page that was on here, and I just want to bring it in, and it's perfect size because I used it for I cut it down to size for another tag, so that works well. So yes, I hope you are all doing well today. I'm trying to get some videos filmed as the light disappears. Oh, I can't wait for the days to get lighter. I really can't. It just makes life so much easier. And it's nice, obviously. But yeah, more for the life being easier situation. Now I'm going to hold that over the edge because I know this is ripped and torn on the edge, but that's okay because we'll rip and tear that too. So yes. And you may think, what on earth are you doing, Belle? Like, I have no idea what you're doing. That's okay. Join the club. No, I do have some idea. I do have a little idea of what I'm doing. I could bring in some washi. I don't have any washi right now near me, but I could bring in some. Let's bring in some upside down music paper because gotta have some music paper. Well, it's not actually upside down. It's going to be sideways. So, you know, that's not too bad, I don't think. Let's rip it too. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I just want the longer days to come back. It makes filming and crafting so much easier. And let's all face it, we all like the sun, really. I love winter. I do love the coldness, and I am a cold weather girl a lot of the time. I like to go on holidays to really cold countries and things. So I don't mind that so much, but I do dislike that the light is just going. So I'm bringing in my scraps now. I just want to bring in some scraps from my scrap box. So that we are using scraps, literally scraps. I'm trying to work out if I want to leave this, and I think I might want to leave it, although I am going to put some washi there because that's ripping a little bit and I don't want it to completely rip. And this is another one, I think, that when I actually do put tags on, because I am intending to put tags on all of these, I'm going to have to put the tag on just the one side, because otherwise it won't do what I want it to do, and that will depress me. Not depress me, it will annoy me. I just need to check something. Just need to check something. Okay, we're going to bring in some of this beautiful butterfly shiny. Do you see that glare? Is it picking up? I'm bringing in some butterfly because, you know, we've got a fairy with butterfly wings, and this has pinks and blues and greens on it, which tend to be the colours that we have been using. So I wanted to use it. It's pretty, and this really does have a floral garden fairy feel to it, this one, even if the thing we're talking about is art. So simply believe, just have a bit of confidence in yourself and your ability. Now, that's not easy. I'm going to be honest. I've said before on this channel that I have always struggled to think of myself as creative. And I'm not saying that so all you guys down below go, oh my gosh, you're so creative, Belle. I thank you if you do, but that's not why I'm saying it. I was always more academic. That's what I did at school, and even when I went into education, it was the academic, it was history and the humanities and things like that. That was my jam. And so I was always really rubbish at art or anything like that. I remember once getting into trouble with a teacher. I was only about 7. I was a very precocious child. I remember getting into trouble because the teacher was saying to me, you need to hand in your artwork. And we were drawing things, and I'd drawn a ballerina, and they were like, you need to hand everything in now, everyone, hand your piece in. And I was like, I'm not handing it in. And they were like, well, you have to hand it in. I said, I'm not handing it in. And they were like, well, you really do have to hand it in. And I said, I'm not handing it in because I'm not happy with it, because it's not perfect and I'm just not doing it. Obviously, I ended up having to hand it in. But I was not happy that that teacher made me hand in that piece of artwork. I really was not happy about it. I was like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with it, and I don't want to hand it in. And they were like, you're going to, and that's that. So yeah, like I said, I was a very precocious child, and I knew what I liked and didn't like. So yeah, I'm going to use some of this tissue paper that I made, but I was just never any good. I hated art lessons. I loved woodwork, or what we called CDT back then. Do you remember that? What was it? Create, Design and Technology or something it stood for, CDT. And we did woodwork, and I always remember making like a metal, I think it was a Japanese metal puzzle, and I loved that, soldering out irons, cutting out, the smell of woodwork, all that kind of good stuff I absolutely loved. But art, I was just like, no, this is not my, not my skill set, and I'm okay. I can accept that. I'm very academically blessed, therefore I'll just do that. And I love academics. I do. I'm one of those people that went, oh, 5,000 word essay, yay. I know you hate me a little bit right now, don't you? See, I like that. It just dulled down that colour a little bit, but I'm wondering if I want to bring maybe something over here like this. I think that'll work really well on there, the mayfly. So yes, I liked academics. That was my thing, and that was okay, you know. Even though my great-grandmother and my grandmother were creative, I was just like, well, I'm just not, and that's okay. That's okay. And then I started I just like to play around and make things, and just, you know, nothing exciting, but just craft a little bit. And when my daughter was born, when my first child was born, we didn't have a lot of money. So that's when I started thinking, okay, there's this thing called decoupage, and I can buy some cheap furniture for her room, and then I can decoupage it and make it look better, and we can add some paintwork to that piece of furniture that I've bought, or and then I started cross-stitching and things like that. But I never thought of myself as creative or an artist. And so I've really struggled using that term with myself. I'm wondering if I want to put the washi on the outside up the top or on the inside. I mean, we can do both. There's no harm in doing both, is there? So yes, I've always struggled, whereas there's some people, there's some super talented creative people in this community, and my friends who, you know, they went to college to do art, and they have always loved art, and they've always, that's not working very well. It's been something they've loved their whole life, and they felt more comfortable with. And yeah, so I'm just saying, I've always struggled calling myself creative and not. I now think of myself as creative, but it has taken me a very long time to think, oh, Belle, you are creative. You do have a creative side. And that it's taken me a long time to accept that. I always just thought, oh, I'm a bit crafty, you know, I like a bit of craft. But the other, to say creative or an artist. But as I said, over time I've now come to accept, actually, I may not be an artiste, but I do like creating. So that is, I don't like the fact it's got the word bad on there. That is something I now think about. So I'm just saying, for all of you out there, and I know there are some who are like, oh, I'm no good, and everyone seems so talented and a natural and all this kind of thing. It's not, guys. You know, some of us may have gone, oh yes, I've always been creative, but as I said, I never did. It was never something that I thought I was. I always felt almost like I was, what's it called? Imposter syndrome. Right, collaging. Collage! I told you we were going to be doing a lot of collage. So Simply Believe is a reminder to myself and to you guys. Just simply believe in yourself. Every skill, doesn't matter if you are a born technical artist like Picasso or Rembrandt, every skill needs to be practiced. Now, the reason we've got this window is because I have this acetate. Now, I was going to use dried flowers again, because again, if you've been here a while, you will know that I love using dried flowers in window envelopes. But I thought, let's do something a bit different, because I've used dried flowers a couple of times. So let's do something different and bring in, oh, that's going to go through. I really can't, I can't use that. This is why we're going to be stitching, because I need to secure this. And this envelope, unlike a lot of my other envelopes, does not seem to like my glue. And I really don't want any seeping through the bottom one, because I want this to stay kind of brownish. I mean, we could collage all around this too. Does it look weird if you open and we've got this here and no collage here? Does that look weird? Does it look weird? Let's ink it and see if that helps me. Let's ink it up. I think because we picked that particular washi, maybe that's what's throwing me off. I don't think I do want to collage it. What I do want to do is now rip and tear at this. So that's what we're going to do. Now rip and tear at it a little bit. So simply believe in yourself, and remember, we all need to practice. What do they say? 10,000 hours or something is what makes a genius, or something like that. So everyone has to practice. Doesn't matter what you're good at, naturally. We all have to keep practicing. And yeah, we may not be as good as certain people, but that's okay, because our art is ours. Now, I am now going to go and stitch around, but I'm thinking about this because that's bothering me. And I'm thinking if I want to bring in just a little bit. I kind of didn't want to. I did not want to bring in anything here. Okay, let's have a look. I have a little bit of the brown envelope left. And I could theoretically stick that down, because this is embossed. So it would work to stick it in place and cover up some of that glue. I mean, will it look a bit weird? It might do. Will it? Oh, we've got the bit from here. This is even more embossed. Right, let's cut the bit that's got the line on it. So yes, simply believe in yourself, guys. Being creative is about playing and just enjoying yourself. It reminds me of, you know, childhood, when we weren't so harsh. We weren't as I say so harsh after telling you that I had an argument with a teacher who wanted me to hand something in. But we weren't so harsh on ourselves. That inner critic might not have been so strong. And we didn't sort of think so much about society's place for us. You know. So I like to think of art in that way. Yep, we're going to glue that on there. I'll still be able to see that there was something there, but I don't mind. And I like it better than the glue sticking out. So that's what we're going with. I like it better than that glue. And then if I blend over the top just a little bit where the ink is, it might blend it a bit better. I don't know. Maybe it won't. But that's what I did. May have to turn my other light on. It's so dark. Yeah, I'm going to do that one right up to the top as well, because some of this is going to be covered. Right, now certain things are drying, or they're almost dry. I am going to go and stitch, because I want to stitch around both the inside here and the outside here. Okay, so you can see I've stitched around the outside and I've stitched around the inside. I forgot again that my bobbin had was a different colour to my main thread, but that's okay because it's black and brown. So let's bring over this now, the journal. Dun, dun, dun. And this is going to sit on here and be able to open. Now obviously we can see some stuff in the background there, so I need to make a decision. I do have some of this butterfly paper that's got blue on it. Do I like that behind? Do I like it? Do. So we've got it there. Do I like that? Or do I want something simple like, let's have a look, some more music paper, because we have got music paper already there, and I could just carry it over so that we have music paper on both sides. Got some number paper here, that's quite interesting. Obviously it's upside down. Why wouldn't it be upside down? Could have that down the bottom and music up the top. I don't want the bad. Good. Oh, I like that with the good there. Although it might end up getting cut off. So we'll see. Because of... Oh, no, it won't. Excellent. All right. Let's glue all this down here. I was going to put a tag in here, if I'm honest, or a journaling card. But I decided against that, as you can probably see, because I'm not putting one in. But yeah. But we can't stick this down yet, because as if that isn't all enough, we also have I really need to place this just right, because I want to see it so good. Here. I want to see that. Or do we want it over so it's there? Let's put it there. Right, I'm going to do this. So yes. I'm going to rip this bit off because we don't need that bit. And I am going to glue the rest of this down now. Excellent. Now, we cannot glue this down yet. You're like, really, Belle? Why? Why can't we glue it down yet? Well, because we're going to use one of my favourite things. We're going to use some magnets. That's what we're going to do. Do I want that? Do I want that collaged? I feel like I don't want it collaged because we've got the paper behind. Yep, no, I don't. I really don't want that collaged. Don't know if I'll do something with that washi tape because I'm not sure I like it. Okay, so we're going to bring in some magnets. So she is going to have magnets on her. So we're going to attach those first because that makes the most sense to me to attach those first. I'm thinking I might go with bigger magnets this time. Not because they're stronger, but I don't know. That's what I'm going to go with. So let's do this like so. And what I'm hoping is, I'm going to test it actually. I'm going to put one underneath because it will be going underneath. And I'm going to put one on top. Yep, they attach. So that's how you can tell if your magnets are strong enough to do what you want them to do. Now I need to make sure that these are the right way realistically. Okay, let's glue this down. Bit of glue either side of her. Now I was going to put it where her head is, but I need to put a magnet underneath the envelope, which you've just seen. And the problem with putting it where her head was, it would be right where this vellum is. So that's not going to work for me. And you know what? Whilst that is drying-ish, I wanted to come in with just a little stencil because I just want this a bit... Actually, do you know what I might do? I might move it a bit further up. Might move them further up. Okay. We're going to come in with a stencil and just kind of stencil lightly with some walnut stain over her. I said lightly. Over her head, as you do. And also while they're drying a little bit, we're going to bring in some words. So I chose some Tim Holtz words. I've chosen them already so that you guys don't have to see me go, do I want that one? Do I want that one? Sounds like a parrot then, didn't I? Right, so I want it to say creating Creating friendship. I need to make sure there's enough space because I've got laughter too. Laughter. And that is not straight. Doesn't matter. Creating friendship, laughter, and art. So this is our second hidden element, I suppose, in that sense, because she's going to be removable, but she will have a message as well behind her. And I feel like that's what we do in our crafting community. We create, especially on here some days, we have a lot of fun. We have some laughter. Because, you know, some days you just have to laugh. Especially those days when everything goes wrong. And I've had a few of those during this challenge. Again, I'm doing my very wonky, messy outlining on the words. Because that's what I like. Oh no, is this pen running out? Oh no! Yeah, I just feel like we do that in this community. We create this wonderful community that's got such joy in it. Yeah, so that's what I like to do. And we're going to bring her in down the bottom. So I'm now going to turn her... Actually, no, I'm going to do this first. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it this way. There's normally a much easier way to do this, but I've got quite a few layers I'm going through. So where did I put the others? There they are. I knew I'd already got my other ones out. They're stuck to the metal drawer, my wooden thing. I need that to attach. And I need that to attach. And we're going to move her about because I want her in exactly the right place. So there we go. All right, so let us come in with a tad of glue that I know it's about here. And again, I'm going to let the magnet do most of the work for me. I'm going to pull it over and let it attach. And then the glue, I know roughly where the glue's going. And the magnet will pull the glue with it. Like so. And before it really solidifies, we need to make sure she's definitely in the right place. Yes, she is. So obviously we've got these magnets now, but this is where I am going to bring in. I don't want to use that. That's really nice washi. I don't want to use it all up on here, but I'm going to bring in a bit of washi for these back ones because I want to start getting this page stuck down. But I would always suggest if you're going to use magnets, cover some of them with washi. That might not be big enough to kind of hold it in place if they're not dry, because they can take a while sometimes depending what glue. Your glue can take a while to then dry to the metal. So we're just going to do that. Excuse me, Heinrich. You need to move your watch over. We are going to now attach this page, even though I might have to rip some of that. We will see. Actually, before we attach it, what am I doing? I need to ink around this. Do you know what else we need to do as well? I almost forgot. Actually, we'll be able to do that even if the page is attached or not. But just looking at her, I suddenly remembered that I needed to do something. So let's remove her now. Oh no! This wasn't dry. That's okay. There is a way to remove magnets even when they're not dry. I'm going to attach her again. Got the magnets there. I'm going to hold them for 5 seconds. And then I just gently open this up so that we can unattach the magnets from each other, but they're not moving. that one moved. Yes, this is the easy way to do it, guys. Let's put that back. That one already wants to stick to the other one. Okay, let's do this again. Let's hold it. Can't see me. You can't see me. John Cena wrestling, anyone? I need to make sure this is definitely flat. Come in and just separate. Separate. And separate. You really don't want to separate, do you? Okay, well, I can see where the glue was, so we're going to put the glue back there. And that is why we also need something on the back of her. I'm just worried if we add too much, we will not be able to, they will not stick. I'm wondering if I want to, no, I'm not going to. I was going to rip that bottom bit off. I'm not going to do that. So this is another one of those days where I had a rough idea of what I wanted to do, but actually when it came down to it, why is that coming up? I know why that's coming up. That's the envelope bit. That I will fix once it's all glued down. But obviously things can still go a bit wonky when you're doing this. So what I also wanted to do on here before we stick it down was I had these Tim Holtz flowers, and they're really bright and lovely. Obviously I don't want them interfering with the word simply, but I wanted to put these down the side as well, and I want to do it now before I glue it down, because that way I can trim them, because they are going to need trimming. So I'm going to have that one there like so. That's going to come in. Lovely, lovely jubbly. And then this. And they're going to come in, and that brings in a bit of colour and the pink and yellow that we've kind of used in other areas. Let's try and get a bit more light on. I don't know if that's even doing what it needs to do. Bring in my scissors. This is definitely going to have to be the last video of today. Oh, for goodness sake. This is because I'm being impatient today and I'm just not waiting for things to dry. And then what I could do, first of all, cut around that, but then bring this in on this side. Although we're going to have it ripped, aren't we, and torn. It could still come in the torn edge, couldn't it? Yeah, it could do that. I don't want to not use it. Unless we used it on the inside and had it kind of there. That might be quite nice too, actually. What do we think? On the outside, I think I like it on the inside now. Let's do it there. Let's just do it. Not overthink it. I say as I move it around somewhere I didn't have it originally. Okay. So now we can stick this whole bottom piece down. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mainly glue this. And I have to be careful not to get any on, obviously, the open bit of the acetate. Like so. But as you can see, I'm not doing this top bit because once it's stuck down, we will see where the tab top comes to, and I'll be able to chop that off. I'm really hoping. Yeah, it does. Woo! Okay. All right. That needs gluing too. Because I'm using this glue, which is thicker than my usual glue, and so I'm not using as much of it as I would my other one. Right, let us trim these edges off, and then I can not cut, then I can glue this top down really well. How am I going to do this? It's a tag book. Need to make sure that I'm not cutting that tag either. Okay, done. Oh, look at it. Simply, this was not a simple page. Not at all. And now I'm going to glue this back down. And we're going to have that on there like so. I'm going to hold that. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to clip that for the moment. And we're going to bring our lovely lady back, and we're going to work out what I want to put on here. Now, my problem is I don't want to put anything too thick because of the thicknesses this already has to go through. I really don't want anything too thick. I think even this is too big, but this is what I've got on my table right now, so this is what we're going to go with. And I was thinking of just putting like the brown circles on her like so. Let's do that and get that glued down so that they might actually stick in place, these magnets, and then she can do what I want her to do, which is actively be able to remove. I think that's too near the edge, so it's not covering, so I think I'm going to have to do half a circle. Right, my fingers are covered in glue, so that's not helping me at all. Working with magnets is normally a lot easier than this. I've just really made life difficult for myself with this project. I mean, I work with magnets a lot, so, you know, normally I don't really have any issues. But I put it too near the edge, and I should have thought about that. Do you know what I think it is? I'm used to working with the smaller magnets, and so it wouldn't have mattered putting them there because they're so small. I would have still had enough space here to make sure something is glued to it to keep the magnet in place. So I was wondering about stitching on this lady as well. If I stitch on her, I'll come back and show you, because I was thinking about, she's got this beautiful bouquet on her here, and I was thinking of doing like we did on one of the other pages and doing some French knots and maybe lazy daisy stitches, but that takes a lot of time and I wanted to get this filmed. So we have her, and she does attach. And can she come off? And yes, she does attach. And she does hold that down. Now, first of all, I need the word hidden, because, you know, that is our prompt for today. I don't know where my small scissors have gone to. Are they in front of me and I just can't see them? How often does that happen to us as crafters? I feel like we get craft blindness sometimes, where we're literally looking at it, but we can't see it. I want to use the word hidden, but what I'm thinking is we could put that behind her, like so. I thought that would work. And then we're going to really look on the inside again and see if I like it or not. I am wondering about adding some black splatters now I'm looking at it. So yeah, so she's got the prompt hidden behind her. This is hidden because obviously it just looks like a page, and you think, oh, it's just a acetate pocket, you can take the tag out, but you remove her and there's a little quote, and then this is the bit that's also hidden under here. And I really want to bring in, I have this little piece of canvas fabric, I want to bring in one of the Tim Holtz words because I want to. Remember this moment, collective memories, that doesn't work. I like dwell in possibility actually. Or note to self, because it's on about simply believing. So I think note to self works really well on that one because, yeah, it's about believing in yourself. Note to self. Right, this is going to have to go on here because this canvas fabric is bubbly, textured like linen. So I need a flat surface. Yeah, they've come off so well. Oh, I really like that. We are going to ink around it. It's a bit white. But I really, really like that. Note to self. Simply believe in yourself. Simply believe. I'm wondering if I want to come in with like a pop of pink, because I have this pop of pink here. We've got the pink here. Or do we just like it like that? Do you know what? I kind of like it just like that. Who am I? What have we done with Belle that I'm not adding a gazillion layers? It's unheard of. Unheard of, I tell you. Note to self. Simply believe in yourself. I'm wondering about putting one of the white words in the flowers just because I love the white words so much. We've got explore. That's a bit big. The adventure begins. I love that. I use it all the time, that particular word. The adventure begins. So you probably get sick of me using it. But do you know what? I just... like, oh, do you know what we've got here? It's a tiny little scrap. I think it was for something else. But it says free to. And I'm wondering if I should... okay. This might work on here because it's white. Free to believe. Because you should just give yourself the grace and freedom to believe in yourself. Free to believe. So I don't think we need a flower, anything in there now. I think we'll leave that. I like that. We might add something on the front. I don't know. So we have her. Let's have a look at what this looks like once it's open. It does kind of hang over the other page a bit, but it still does open. What is caught? It still does open and close okay, but we have all this torn edge here. I kind of like it. So I'm really, really going to make sure that edge is really defined on both sides. Bring that in and really define it. I might rip it down there a little bit actually. So yes, we have all of that. Still don't know if I like this. I think that's bothering me a little bit, and I'm just wondering if I want to bring in not more writing, because we already have writing, but maybe a bit of music. It looks too straight across, and I don't like that. I really don't. So I need some music, because I love my music. Okay, I prefer, I think, that. And it ties in the music there, which is the next page, and the music underneath. So we're going to do that. And then I think we may be done. Hallelujah. Oh, dear me. I do really like this. I know I probably sound like I don't, but I'm in thinking mode, so I'm just looking at everything thinking, do I like that? Do I like that? What about that? Okay, yeah, I like that better because it's wonky, and I like that. Note to self. So we have simply free to believe, note to self, in yourself, and creating friendship, laughter, and art. And we have our little quote saying hidden, which is hidden. We have our lovely lady who I may or may not add stitching to. We'll see how I feel about that. Can you see her? Okay. And I just, do you know what? I really, it took us a while to get there, but do you know what? I really like it. I really do like this page. So we have her here. I wonder if I can actually do that. That's a bit better. That's a bit better, so we can see just her. And obviously, like I said, we've got hidden. We remove her. We've got our quote. And then we've got simply believe up here with all our collage, and then more acetate with note to self. So we've got this all hidden. This is obviously hidden on the inside. And we have our little message on the back of our cute, beautiful fairy lady. We haven't given her name. She's got to be called Marigold. That's what I think she's got to be called. So, yeah, and she fits with the rest of the pages because we've brought in another lady. So, yeah, she fits. We've brought in some yellow and pink, which I love. No blue on this page, actually. I was going to splatter, wasn't I? But you know what? I don't know if it needs splatters. I think it's quite beautiful as it is. If I add splatters, you'll see that in tomorrow's video, because you will actually see if I've added splatters. But I don't know that it needs it. And I want everything to sit. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to look at a page, think it's finished, sit with it, and then sometimes you come back to it and add something else. So that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this very long, strange, all over the place kind of one. I hope you got some inspiration in another way how to use a junk envelope. And, you know, these, I really do love that comes off. I love interactive elements in a journal. And I will be back again soon with another video. Please do like, subscribe, share and comment. It helps my channel and I love reading your comments and replying to you. So yes, I'll be back again soon. Until then, guys, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye from me and Marigold. Bye for now.